It is my privilege to introduce this year's Salutatorians and Valedictorian. Our first speaker today is Carter Frazier, a co-salutatorian. Carter was accepted to Washington University in St. Louis, Abilene Christian University, the University of Texas at Austin Cockrell School of Engineering, Texas A&M University, and Wheaton College. He is a National Merit Scholar. Carter has been actively involved with both the arts and athletics. In the art studio, Carter twice has earned scholarship and recognition at the Fort Worth Stock Show for his three-dimensional artwork. He also earned recognition at the North Texas High School Art Competition. On the field, Carter has been a 4-year member of both the baseball and cross-country teams, earning MVP for freshman and sophomore JV baseball, and MIP for freshman and sophomore cross-country. He was co-captain of his senior year cross-country team. In addition, he was the most valuable pitcher and all-SPC honorable mention for baseball for his senior year. In the classroom, Carter has earned Most Outstanding Student in AP Art, Honors 3D Design, Honors Survey of British Literature, and Honors Algebra 2. He has earned Most Dedicated Student in Honors World History and AP Physics. Carter had the highest academic average after his freshman year. Carter has been an active volunteer. He has coached a Little League team as well as volunteered as an umpire. He is highly involved at the Hills Church of Christ, and he has annually attended summer leadership camp in Abilene. He is a co-founder of our Oakridge chapter of Fellowship of Christian Athletes. In his spare time, Carter is a staff reviewer for IndieVisionMusic.com. Carter has chosen Washington University in St. Louis, where he expects to study engineering. Help me welcome the son of Lynn and David Frazier to our platform, Carter Frazier.
Good morning. For those of us who have been a part of Oakridge since lower school, parents too, who remember some of the lower school musicals? How about the dinosaur one and the space one? You had a little, watch out, beware, Jurassic Jaws are there. Watch out, beware, Jurassic Jaws don't care. Sing along with me if you remember. There was, this is America, America. And who could forget? Zero G makes us glide and sets us free. Like a fish or circus clown, down is up and up is down. Mrs. Jones' class. I have so many weird memories from that class, and I'm not really sure what we did in there, but I know we learned a lot. One thing I remember, and I'm sure some parents and grandparents remember as well, was Flat Stanley. And I have my Flat Stanley today with me, actually. And yes, this actually was my Flat Stanley way back when. That's right. And there was a huge inflatable star tent thing that could just fill the room. It seemed utterly massive, even if it probably wasn't as big as my younger self remembers it. Mrs. Jones would tell stories in it, with the lantern's light casting shadows across her face, and the pinholes glimmering behind her in the gray canvas. And I remember there was one story in particular that absolutely terrified me. I can't remember how it began, but it ended with her slowly growling, "Give me my toe." I remember being chased by the girls at recess, and never knowing why. But there were potentially life-changing consequences if you got caught. And I remember being bummed to find out that certain books weren't on the AR test list in the library, and finding all the 20-page, 5-minute learning to read books that made it easy to nickel and dime AR points, 1/2 point at a time. Gizmos and Gadgets, Treasure Mountain, Oregon Trail. That was the early to mid-2000s right there. Then there was middle school. Oh, what an awkward time, with the cramped hallways and the hot navy pants. I remember being in Mr. Henderson's science class and hearing someone ask once a week, "How long until we make rockets?" And Mrs. Davis's love for Foxtrot comics going so far as to paint them on her classroom wall. I remember playing that simulated war game in Mr. Robinson's class, that ridiculous Axis and Allies adaptation. I think my group and I argued strategy for that as recently as last summer. And all this was back when the social measuring stick was how ornately your locker was decorated on your birthday. And then there was high school. It's strange to talk about in the past tense now. I don't clearly remember my first day of high school, or my second, but I do remember a little about my third. The third day of high school was the first day we really had tutorial. We already thought we had so much free time because we were still getting used to the idea of having a study hall, a class where you could literally do nothing for 45 minutes. But then in the middle of the day, we had this 20-minute break where we didn't even have to be anywhere. And I remember how foreign this idea was. This idea that we'd complete in total, go where you want, without needing permission, free time. So a couple friends and I went and ascended the stairs to the bridge and just stood there for a while and talked about the fact that we could just be there. Coming out of middle school, this was totally bizarre. We never had a reason to go across the bridge, and every opportunity we did have was met with this overwhelming sense of awe. And then it was time for advisory, and we left, thinking there will be time for us to do this every day for 4 years. And we didn't, of course, but we did have a whole new batch of weird activities. Frantically submitting the last question of UT homework at 9:59, and getting tapped by Mr. Yandel as he walked out of the classroom. Sprinting out to join the celebratory horde after the football championship. Hearing Zed's laugh echo off the walls of the Commons. The frustration of finding out that snack was canceled. Getting a stack of adequate essays back in Mr. Coe's class. Eating like 8 churros in the freshman class trip. And asking yourself, "Self, are you a man or a boy?" But all that's over now too. We took all we could from high school because we were not afraid. Several days ago, I walked across the bridge for the umpteenth time, and I paused and looked out across the parking lot and the quad, and I tried to feel that same way I did freshman year, but I could not. I'm not the same person I was then. None of us are the same people we were then, and we're certainly not the first graders that climbed on the wooden forts in the classrooms 12 years ago. But some of us were those kids. And we all have small things we'll take with us without realizing them. We did this together, and now we leave together. And about today, I look back on all these years, and it makes it all the more staggering to realize. Today is most likely the last time all of us will ever be together in one place. This is the last memory to be made. How close are we to losing each other? To all the teachers, coaches, administrators, and parents, especially mine, that silently put in hours of unappreciated work to plan something for us that you think we've forgotten, I tell you that at some level we have not. We take these things with us, whether we realize them or not. On behalf of my classmates, I thank you all for investing so much of your lives into ours. I hope and trust we gave you a fair share of unappreciated memories as well. Thank you.